Amy, what's your dog's name?
Hello.
Pepper and Logan.
We're all here. Hello,
Can they
hello,
hear us?
everybody.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey.
That was my fault.
We've done this before.
That's good.
I get distracted by dogs.
Puppies. We had during our intro music, we had Amy's puppies going crazy, and so we were like, hold on.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? Doing good. We're doing good. Let's take a look. I'm making sure that everybody's all set. All right. Hi, everybody. We are all here. Prettiest ladies in all of Twitch. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Oh. Well, welcome everybody to a 3-minute break. This is episode 3, and today we're going to be talking about maintaining healthy relationships with our significant others. I am Mrs. Dr. Lupo, married to Dr. Lupo, and we're going to go around real quick if this is your first time hanging out with us, so that way you get to know everybody. So, Pocahontas, go ahead and go next.
Hi, I'm Amy, Pocahontas. My husband is Professor Broman, and yeah, that's me.
Cool. Mrs. Grenader.
Mrs. Grenader, married to Grenader Jake.
And then wife Thalion.
Wife Thalion, married to Gothalion. And I got little Bradley off camera.
And then
I'm
girl
not
on a
just looking at my
hippo.
boob. Sorry. Like it looks like.
Hey,
And then last but not least.
We're not here to, yes, sorry.
On that
Girl on
note-
Hippo, aka Steph, married to the True Vanguard.
Okay, my
Twitter's bad
command
boy,
isn't
right?
working. My command, yeah, Twitter's bad boy, right? All right, I'm quickly. My command's not working for our
Oh.
shirt, and I was
Oh,
just about
yes.
ready to talk about that.
The shirt.
So
Oh yes.
I'm gonna
Thank
quickly
you,
grab
Amy, for putting that together.
this
Yeah.
up here. Give me 1 second. Copy.
I still have to
We're all
order
about doing
mine,
stuff on the fly.
by the way.
I ordered, I think, like 4.
No
Really?
shame in that.
I haven't ordered any yet.
I
I'm
was
best.
planning on it, but this
one.
last week has been insane for me. So I'm like, I will get to it. I need to get one.
Oh no. We might have a problem.
All right, I tagged somebody in chat to make that into a command.
To command.
There we go. That works.
Do it.
Ta-da! All right. Guys, this is still only our 3rd episode. We're still trying to figure this crap out, okay?
When you said 3rd at first, I was like, really? It feels like it's been more than that. But it's probably because
Yeah.
we
Right?
talk every week too. So
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, we talk on a daily basis,
Little-
the 5 of us.
Little
So
known
Yeah.
fact, we actually can't stand each other. So I don't know why I'm looking at my monitor
This is the worst.
here to look at chats. I'm like, if I look there, they'll see me, you know. the
Well,
camera's
it's funny.
here, you idiot.
yeah, so my cam's right here, you guys are right here,
Yeah, I
and
keep
chat's
looking-
right here.
Keep looking off.
So you get to look at, I have to make sure the side of my face is all
Right
all
side.
good to go yet. All right, so we'll see if we can get that command.
No one did it.
No one did it. Guys.
No.
All right,
Yeah.
making husband do it.
Help.
Help!
Do
Help!
the thing.
I seriously checked it beforehand, but I bet you it
I
was just
know.
like this is
I thought
success.
it worked.
Yeah, well,
Oh my gosh.
Nobody
can you
likes a
do?
well-polished stream.
Yeah.
Anyway.
there we go.
They like to see
Please.
the imperfections.
Oh, he is working on it. Okay. Husband Pearl has it. Awesome. All right. So let's get started now that that's working. Somebody do the command real quick. Make sure it's working. Somebody in chat do the command. Fire all the mods. Free Embry shirt. Yes.
Yay. Thank you so
That
much.
works. That works. All right. So now it's working. Okay. Over and over again. Yes, good. So we are talking about maintaining healthy relationships today with our significant others. For all of us, it's for our husbands. But since with Valentine's Day coming up, we just wanted to talk about, being sappy and cutesy with our husbands and stuff like that. So
Love.
we're not getting X-rated or anything like that.
Speak for
But
yourself.
yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
Boys.
she
The
is.
boys do that all the time.
Anyway, so the number one question that a lot of us get, we always say number one. So like one of the top 5 questions that we always get is how do you create that work-life balance to make sure that you have enough time with your significant other? Because especially for those of us that have kids, it's completely different. Like that's a whole nother section that you have to worry about. You have to worry about your job, your family, and then also maintaining your relationship. And so we're going to just basically go through and talk a little bit about how each of us has created a way to make sure that every section of our lives gets, I guess, touched upon, make sure that everyone gets all the attention that they need. So I'll go first. When we started all of this, especially once we had Charlie, we decided that we needed a schedule. Like scheduling is the only thing that works for our family. We are not spur of the moment people. If something comes up and the plan is changed, everything kind of just falls apart from there. So I'm the kind of person, like before this, I was meal planning our meals for the week. So I know exactly what to cook, because if I don't, then I get stressed, and then husband gets stressed, and then we get stressed at boy because he does something that we don't want him to, and then we just all freak out. So for us, we're like, what are the days that are going to work for us? And we picked one full day during the week. So for us, it's Wednesday, and during the day is family day. And then during the evening, it's date night for us. And so we guarantee once a week have one date night every single week that we get to hang out. And we usually about once a month try to leave the house and do something outside of the house without boy in the evening. And then otherwise we just stay at home and hang out at home. And then we also do Sunday afternoons or Sunday during the day, usually that we do a family day, unless there's something that comes up. You guys all know, new game comes out, new patch, new whatever. Yeah. Something comes up, tournament, anything like that. And that changes. But so for us, we are 100% scheduling family. On Monday, Ben usually knows what his whole entire schedule for the week is, where he needs to be outside of what the regular is. And if it comes up last minute, then it's one of those things that we have to sit down and make sure that it fits within our schedule. So that's me. So we'll go around in a circle again. So Amy, you're next.
Well, I just wanted to say, I think that's really smart, because I think a lot of people forget to keep a date night for just the two of you. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really, really smart. I've seen that with a couple of friend relationships that they just have, normal jobs even. And I feel like date night kind of gets like swooped away with kids. So I applaud you for that. Yay. For us, actually last year we had a really, really good schedule, and he took Fridays off. And then I would also get like either Sunday morning, afternoon, or Sunday evening. And that worked really well for us. And then now, kind of with this schedule, he's kind of picking a day off or 2 afternoons off or evenings off, whichever works out with like all the random content that's going on right now. So, but I think the biggest thing is just talking and making sure that you do make the time, and like no excuses. Like I need either those 2 or like a day off or something that makes it all work.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't keep on top of it, it goes weeks and weeks and weeks before you actually get to spend any time together.
Oh, yeah. Especially after you're sick for like 2 weeks and your husband goes back to work and he just works like 12-hour days, like for an entire week. And then you're like, wait, where have you been?
Oh, hi. I miss you.
Like, it'd be nice to like have a meal with you or, coffee in the morning. So I think as long as we are trying to get back to one whole day off, but right now that's just not the case. So we're just making it work.
Cool. Kelsey, what about you guys?
First of all, I definitely agree with what you were saying, Amy, about just communicating. I feel like that's what it comes down to most of the time. Right now, Jake doesn't have any particular set schedule. It's kind of just week to week. We usually talk about it on Sunday night. We're like, okay, look at the calendar. What's going on this week? Like, what hours do I need to like be going to an event with you or whatever? And like, let's make sure you're not going to be streaming at that time. And then usually Jake, I'd say it's rare for him not to take one full day off a week. Rarely would he take 2 full days off, but usually 1 full day, and then sporadically like mornings or evenings, and we'll try to spend time together during those hours.
Oh my gosh, can you hear that?
That was,
that was my Ben. That's what I live with.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think we are all used to that.
Yeah. We all are trying to figure out who.
We're like, wait,
Yeah.
Ben's not streaming, so.
He is definitely the loudest,
Oh, yeah.
I think, of all 5.
So funny. I was just gonna say that when Destiny was like Jake's primary game, I guess, he was much stricter about his schedule. He like streamed Friday through Monday, like 10 to 12 hours a day, doing trials, and that was like no exceptions. Like we just knew we didn't schedule anything during those days. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was like more lenient. Like we tried to figure it out, and he'd usually take at least 1 full day off. But now it's definitely way more up in the air. It's like, okay, yeah, I could take a Saturday off. Like that's not a big deal now. So it's gotten a little more flexible, which is selfishly a little nice.
It's okay to be selfish.
Yeah.
Sam, what about you guys?
Oh boy, we are totally opposite of what you were saying scheduling wise. We are like fly by the seat of our pants all the time. And to be frank, I mean, we haven't really found like an awesome groove yet with the new baby, and everything has just added so much more. But we try, to take an evening, or even if it's just like, okay, we're gonna lay in bed, we're gonna watch TV, we'll talk and this and that. Like even if it's just a whole lot of nothing, that's like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
We try to do that when he's not working. So sometimes when you guys see like no stream tonight, blah blah blah, it's because I was like, listen, we
need to hang out.
Sometimes and for us, sometimes like I have to be the voice of reason, like you can take a day off.
You are allowed.
Yeah, because otherwise I feel like it gets blurred for him. And so it's not even just a matter of us being healthy with each other. It's like, okay, you need a break too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll usually take some evenings off, or like it'll just be like he'll start later in the morning. So we kind of just fit in our time into all of those little pockets. But it's never really scheduled or planned. Everything is pretty spontaneous over here. But it works. I'm hoping that, eventually we'll get to a point where there'll be a good solid, like a day off. But right now it's just all over.
Cool. And Steph, what about you guys?
It's kind of a mix. It's like 70% schedule and 30% flying by the seat of our pants, as you said. For the most part, he doesn't take a day off, and he used to take like all of Saturdays off, and then we were like, you can do a night stream. Like I'm just kind of used to not going to bed with him at the same time. And actually sometimes I don't want him to go to bed with me because I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to read, Twitter. He's always like, oh yeah, you're going to bed. But then I see your tweets. You're not, But I think there's also like, and Sam, like you alluded to with kids, it's hard to find that balance. For us, like lately, I felt like we're in this weird season where like life is good, but it's crazy, and we're kind of just trying to keep our heads above water. We moved in August to a new house, and at the same time, it's like doubled my commute to and from work. So it's a longer commute, and now it's like dinner. It's like we got to find something quick and that the kids will eat, and then you have 2 hours with them before they go to bed, and so you're trying really hard in that time not to check Twitter and not to do that kind of stuff, just be devoted to them and giving them that time. And then I'm blessed to have Fridays off. So Friday mornings we try to spend just us as a family. And then most of Saturday we spend hanging out. And then Saturday night he streams. So I consider Saturday his day off until, you know, nighttime, and then he's working. But I think part of it is just being patient and understanding that sometimes there are seasons. Like Kelsey was talking about, like Destiny was different when Destiny was really big, and schedules were different. And now it's just kind of, we're in this season, and there's times where I'm like Sam had said, like, hey, I'm kind of feeling neglected. Like, I kind of want to hang out, you know? And I was actually, we were just saying today, I was like, when are you taking me on a date? Because we do the same thing. We try when the kids go to bed to at least spend an hour or two together. And more often than that, it's just sitting watching Netflix. You know, it's like, what show are we going to watch next? And Netflix and chill. But
oh yeah,
the other way.
More Netflix, less chill.
chill.
Yeah, like
but I mean, I think there's times where you just have to be flexible and understanding that this is a weird season of life, and sometimes it'll be a little bit more chill, and sometimes you're gonna not see him for, you know, a couple of days. And, you know, so it's tough to find that balance, but I think you have to be really confident in your relationship to be okay with that. Maybe that's just me, but like,
So true. Yeah.
you know,
no, I agree with that.
and I agree with communicating. Like you have to communicate.
Yes.
If you're feeling isolated and left out, and, you know, because I even told him, this was literally like a week ago, I was like, it's not you, and normally 99% of the time I'm fine with our lifestyle, but right now I'm feeling kind of lonely, and I need like a night just to hang out where we're not watching Netflix. Maybe we go out to dinner and do something just to kind of get away from that. And that's what I'm excited about GuardianCon, because that's our little vacation away from the little ones. And
Yes.
you know, it's like, yay. Last year was my first year. Well, both of our first years going. And I had this huge guilt trip because my daughter was 11 months old. And I mean, I've spent maybe 1 or 2 nights away from my kids. I hadn't spent any time away from her. But I knew, like, I'd been talking to a lot of people, and they're like, this is really important for you to do. You really need to do this for your marriage, and also like for yourself. And it was good because it reminded me that my kids will survive without me. Like they'll be okay for a couple days. They didn't even miss me, but it was also really relaxing for me and rejuvenating. And I think in a marriage you need that too. You need even just a night out to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes we need to remind our streamer husbands that they need to get out of the house.
Right.
Yes.
It's funny. So you're talking about how, like, communicating that you're lonely and you need time. One of my biggest love languages is quality time. And so for me, like, us going to bed together every single night. So Ben's done with stream, and then we stay up for about another hour, and we have like bowls of cereal usually, or recently it's been hot chocolate and before bed, and we watch shows and stuff like that. And like, that's super important for me, for us to go to bed at the same time. And so that's why we had to schedule that in there, because as soon as I started not getting if I didn't get my quality time, then I instantly would be like, well, he doesn't love me, and I'm not going to do what he wants me to do. All this kind of stuff. So it totally, like, it's definitely, I don't know if you guys have ever taken the 5 love languages quiz.
Yeah.
I haven't.
You have it? Oh, it's
And
like,
then I took it, and then there's Pepper, and then I literally like forwarded it to Ben. I was like, look, these are my love languages.
Yeah.
There's a link to take a quiz for yourself.
I did the same thing.
Did he do it?
I did.
He did it, and I actually learned a lot. Like, my love language is affection, physical, like touch, even just like hold my hand, like play with my hair, like give me actual hugs, or like kiss me on the cheek. Like, it doesn't have to be like, let's make out on the couch. Yeah. You know? Like, just like sweet things. And then his thing is words of affirmation, which I suck at. So like, he just needs me to like say I love you out loud when I'm just like, hugs. And he's like, I need you to say it. And I'm like, I'll kiss you. And so we've kind of learned that, which is good.
I constantly find myself loving Ben in the way that I want to be loved, and I had to stop, and I have to be like, Sam, no, these are his thing. Like the top 3 out of the 5 are the ones that you super want to focus on. And I would always find myself like leaving him little notes and buying him presents, and I'm like, that's what I want. But what he wants me to do, his primary love language is steak, is what he said in chat.
Steak.
But what he wants me to do is words of affirmation and physical touch are his too. So he wants me to tell him how I'm feeling versus trying to show him how I'm feeling.
Is that why he's got that weird butt thing? The touching?
Probably.
Why they do that.
Just checking.
But if you guys haven't, or if anybody out there, you guys haven't done the 5 love languages quiz, even if you're not in a relationship, it's a really good way to understand in a future relationship how you want to go into that being loved, or even just for yourself. Like if you find out that that gifts is one of your love languages, then you can make sure that you focus on
like
gifts.
I was like, I really love it.
That might be my love language, actually.
I know, I love it.
But then you can go out and like treat yourself to a new shirt or whatever you want to do or something like that. So yeah, my cat's and I says I'm reading the book about it now. I am about ready to start reading the book. And then there's also one that's love languages for kids, which is good too. So I'm excited to read that so I can learn about what Charlie's love languages are too. I kind of have an idea what it is, but it'll be interesting to go through and see what they talked about.
I took those years ago, and I can't even tell you what my answers were. So I should probably
mine changed after we had Charlie.
That's what I'm thinking too. Mine probably has changed.
I bet that's that's interesting.
I can totally see how that would happen. I just want to add on. So when you guys, when you don't necessarily communicate that lonely feeling stuff, does it come out in other ways? Because Corey laughed at me so hard because so since I'm with the baby most of the time all day, and parents understand you talk to a baby or a toddler or whoever all day. He was like, he'd get up to walk to the bathroom. I'm like, what are you doing?
Hey, that's 100% me. Ben picks up his phone and I'm like, who are you talking to?
And so I have to
tell him. And that's like, but at the same time, like I'll be on my phone and he's just like, will you come over and just sit down next to me and touch me? And I'm like, okay, sorry. So we both like kind of jab at each other whenever we're on our phones, and he just wants me to sit next to him and like play with his hair. He'll be like, why don't you just put your phone down? And then when I want quality time with him, I'm like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? What are you tweeting? What about now? I see your fingers moving.
I do the same thing. I'll be like, who are you texting? And he's like, are you that paranoid? I'm like, no, I just want to know. I just want to hang out with you.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about whatever you're talking about.
Yeah. What are you thinking all the time? Quality time. I think quality time is one of the worst main love languages to have because you just constantly want to hang out with that person. And it's probably super, super annoying. So, husband, I'm sorry. You're right. I think a lot of people have that. They don't realize it. So, yes, everybody, go 5 love languages. Look it up. Take the quiz. It's free. It gets in your email.
Online, right?
Yes, it's in it's sent to your email. Forward it to your significant other if you have one. And see what they have and then talk about it. I mean, that's a perfect way to sit down and be like, yo, have you been feeling neglected lately? This is probably why. And let's switch it because it's usually a constant thing. Usually it's not just one person dropping the ball. It's both of them dropping the ball. Mm-hmm. And so then you just start like taking it out on each other. And
right. Well, and even if you're single, I feel like it's a really good thing to like take so that like, oh, this is my love language. But if you're dating someone, be like, oh, I'm just needing this, or I need this in my partner. I mean, I feel like awareness is always good too.
Or even with friends. I mean, if you realize that that quality time is something that is one of your love languages, I'm just using that because that's one of mine. Then make sure that you're going out with your friends and your friends understand that texting isn't enough. That you actually want to go out and have a drink with them or something. So this doesn't have to be just about romantic relationships either. So so now
that must be why we always are like, I love you. Oh no, I love you.
It's worse.
I
I
heard
have to,
this
like,
song
prepare.
today, and I love you.
I have to like tell Amy that I love her. Like it just like it cycles. You know, every once in a while we just have this.
We do.
This
Aw,
moment.
love
I
it.
love you. Yeah.
So now we've expressed or we've scheduled our time with our significant others, with our husbands. What is your guys' favorite thing that you like to do, whether it's at home or going out? Well, let's go back around. So Steph, I'll have you start with you and we'll go the other way.
Okay. Well, if we're at home, it's usually watching like a new show on Netflix, whether it's good or bad. If it's bad, we're just gonna sit there and make fun of it the whole time, which is also fun.
Yeah.
Yes. If we go out, more often than not, we are going somewhere where there's craft beer involved, because I didn't like beer for a long time, and then we got like some Groupon for some place. I'm like, well, I'll try it, and now I really like beer, and I don't like a lot of the stuff he likes, but we like, I don't know, I wouldn't call myself a foodie, but we love local places with good food and good beer. And so that's our thing, is like go somewhere and probably tweet about it while we must look like the lamest couple because we're like both sitting on our phones, but we're having good quality interaction, but we're like, it's ridiculous. But that's, yeah, for us, like that is a big thing right now, especially in the winter when there's not, it's so like we have like 12 feet of snow right now. That's an exaggeration.
Oh,
We more have like a foot. I'm not kidding. We got a bunch last night. So
Wow. The house is covered. Like
we can't get out.
It's awful. Like Ryan went out and like did the whole driveway yesterday. Our snow blower is broken right now. And then I wake up this morning and you can't even see where he shoveled.
It's the worst.
Yeah. He's like, why do we live here? Why? I don't know.
Well, I hear there's lots of people recruiting for you to move to Florida.
I've heard there's a lot of us who are being recruited to Florida. Like,
it's just going to be Streamer Town.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
We'll start our own neighborhood.
Tampa, Florida.
With dogs.
Literally. Are you friends with us? Move to Florida.
Yeah.
Is that like your billboard?
Yeah.
One thing I will say, we should probably make sure we have really good internet connection in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everybody's streaming at the same time.
Or crash.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
And lots of
All right,
dogs.
Sam, what about you guys? What's your favorite thing to do?
Oh, is it me?
Yeah.
What? I swear I thought today was all day. Well, we are foodies. We always, want to find a new and different place to eat and try, and that's our favorite thing to do. We like to eat.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Food is my love language.
Yeah.
I don't need to take the quiz. I'm already done.
As long as it involves food, I don't care.
But I mean, and we even find ourselves talking about places that we went to like a long time ago. I'm like, oh, do you remember that? And it's always like the food sparks memory stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we love the most. And Steph, like you, sometimes we'll both be on Twitter, but it's always such a good time together. Whether it's just us or we go out with other couples. It's just we like to go out and go to dinner and we're pretty simple as far as that goes. And we love to go to Disney too. We miss Disney right now, but we always have fun there. Like we get to just be big kids and not worry. I think, day to day, there's just so much to stress about or worry about or schedule or this or that and the other. And we like to just do things that, where we can let go of those, worries or whatever, what have you, regular life stuff, adult stuff. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. So food, Disney, drinks, things like that. And friends.
And me. Don't forget me.
Amy's love language is quality time.
No, just kidding.
All right. Kelsey, what about you guys?
I would say we're also big foodies. We like to go out for dinner a lot, and we live like 20 minutes away from downtown Portland. And there is so much good food in Portland. Like I have not been to a bad restaurant yet. It's so good.
I'm so jealous.
Come visit. Lots of good dessert places too. And to balance that out, we do a lot of hiking. There's a lot of really cool hikes nearby. Lots of outdoor activities year round. I try to hike like at least 2 or 3 times a week, whether Jake comes with me or not. But yeah, just like to be outside and get some exercise.
And eat.
And yeah, eat.
Yeah, it balances out, right?
Right. So do you guys eat first and then go hiking, or do you hike and then eat?
Hike and then eat.
Right, good. There you go. All right, Amy, what about you guys?
I think our favorite standard like date night together is dinner and a movie. Like we almost go every Friday or every other Friday night. Like if there's something good, like we love going to movies, which is probably also why we love like almost every single night watching our shows together or Netflix, right?
Mhm.
But I think besides movie night, if there's something good, we're really social. So going out with Sam and Corey, Danielle and Kevin is like really important to us. Trying new restaurants. Luckily, everyone that we have friends here are also foodies. So I feel like that's like a huge thing for us is just being social and trying new things with our friends. And I have also realized lately that we haven't really explored a lot of Florida. So I really want to make an effort to like try to map out like where we could go for like a day trip, or should we take a weekend and like try your new mobile setup or get an Airbnb at this part of Florida, like, and take the dogs with us or something. So I really do want to try that at least maybe once or twice a month this year, just to like really get out and like explore more, because I'm realizing like all of the vacations I thought were going to happen are not going to happen.
Yeah. You have all these big affirmations.
Yeah.
Local vacations.
Like we really thought like when we were dating and like when we first moved down here, we were like, oh, we'll be able to go on vacation twice a year, easy. We have a hard time even going to see like our family at home, like just to St. Louis in the United States. Like it's so hard to travel, and I really want to just explore. So I'm going to really try to do that. But other than that, food and movies.
Sounds about right.
And Disney.
And Disney.
Yeah.
I can relate with majority of that. If we go out, it is to a movie. Straight up, we have a movie theater right up the street from us. So it literally takes less than 5 minutes to get to the theater. And we always stop and get the little boxes of candy at the gas station. And we have a bag that we put all of our stowaway stuff in and sneak it into the theater.
I'm calling the FBI.
Hey, Ben used to work at that theater when he was in high school. So I'm sure there's still someone there that he could like say his name and they'd be like, whatever, go ahead. But yeah, right now where you were talking about being in a different season, we're in the season of we don't have an evening babysitter. And so right now we're working on finding a babysitter, and I'm going to be like, you know what? Second Wednesday of every month you're on, like you're here.
Yeah.
6:00. We'll be back at 11. So that way we make sure we get our 1 day a month that we have a goal for to get out of the house. Cause right now it's been a while since we've gotten out of the house, in the evening. At nighttime. I don't know what nighttime looks like. But otherwise, because it's dark. We have our date night every Wednesday night. So we for a while we're doing date night baking. So we were just making random food at home. So we made like souffle, and we made, what else? We made molten chocolate lava cake and just stuff that I would never know how to make. We taught ourselves how to do that. We also like to play board games a lot. And sometimes we even stream. Like sometimes we'll go find a silly game and we'll sit and stream it. Cause I mean, if we're playing video games, we might as well stream it for us. Yeah. So, but yeah, otherwise watching shows, we're watching through Black Mirror right now. So we're halfway through season 3, I think.
Oh my God.
How creepy is that show? I'm like kind of scared to watch it.
It's kind of it's intense. That's the only
Okay.
way I
Yeah.
can describe it, is it's intense, because sometimes it's emotionally intense, sometimes it's like mentally intense. But
I
I
wouldn't
think
say it's creepy.
no.
Okay.
I could
Okay.
I
I mean-
mean, the first episode.
I
with the
could probably
pig. I was
do it.
like,
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
episode was probably the
Ow.
wrong
Just
episode
skip
to
it.
introduce. Yeah.
Right.
Just-
I
yeah.
saw somebody on
Skip the
Twitter. They
first
were like,
one.
"Well, you started
Yeah.
on the wrong episode." I'm like, "It's the pilot. Where am
It's
I?
the
Right.
Where's
Yeah.
the start?"
But the cool thing is that they're all individual episodes, so you can jump around
Right.
wherever you
I
want
watched
to. Like
the San Junipero one. That's the only one I've watched.
that one we
Oh my
haven't seen
gosh.
yet. So
Yeah.
because we're watching them in order.
This is
Um,
our favorite. It's
is it?
so
Yeah.
It's cute. Yeah.
I
Oh,
liked,
and then you cry at the end, and you're so in love with like everyone, and you like hug your partner, and you're like, oh.
I can't wait to watch it then. We
I
watched. I liked the USS Callister one. I thought that one was really cool. That was kind of like Star Trek-y.
Oh
Almost.
yes,
Mm.
Yeah, that one. We looked at each other and we're like, nah.
yeah.
But that's pretty much how every single episode you look at each other and you're like, is this really what is this what's going on? Like, and then at the end, every single time we would look at each other, we're like, so if that was our life, how would you feel? So you should definitely watch it. I think that
Need to check it out.
it's a really good it's a really good show. So I'm glad to see that everybody is revolving around food though, because
Yeah.
we don't usually go out to dinner though, but if we do, we have like 2 or 3 restaurants that we go to, and they're local ones, and we just stick to those. Like I'm the person that when we go to a restaurant, I order the same damn thing every single time. So I'm not experimental with
I do
that.
that thing where if we're going to a new restaurant or when we've been to, I'll stare at the menu for like 3 hours beforehand, and I'll still get there and have no idea what I'm going to eat.
Right?
I'll be between 2 things, and I'll order one and then end up regretting it. So like,
Well, with my
Oh.
food guidelines, I have to do research for every single restaurant
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
like I
sure.
have to make sure that I have at least 2 options just in case. Because I went to one restaurant and the one thing that I could have, they didn't have available, and I was like,
Oh no.
"Can I have a
Uh.
salad then?" I guess. Like,
Water.
so yeah, that it sucked. So now I make sure that I have at least two things on each menu. So anytime people are like, "Let's go to this restaurant," I'm like, "Hold up, let me make sure I can eat there."
yeah,
Great.
that's got to be hard.
Yeah, I wanna
So
try it.
okay, so date night's over with.
All right.
We're gonna rewind it all the way back to the very beginning. And we always say this is the number one question, but this has to be the number one question that we get is how do I get my significant other? This is the number one question. How do
You'll
I get
never
my
say this
significant
again.
other
Uh-oh.
to
I see a coin
hi?
spotting.
Yeah, did you hear me? I'm like fucking like it's the dog. Get out of here.
At least you're not screaming this time.
So number one question, everyone can agree with this, is how do I get my significant other to A, either like video games, or B, support video games? C, play video games. That's a 3, but 1, 2, 3. C, play video games. I think that's the number one thing that I always get asked is how do I get a significant other to like what I like is basically what it boils down to. In talking about this ahead of time, we realized that all of us have a completely different outlook on this, and we all came into this situation differently. And so I'm actually really excited to hear everybody's thing. But I'll go first, and then we'll flip back around the other way. I'm not vegan. I just have lots of stuff that I can't eat. So basically, I'm vegan, but I like meat. So the way that I started out is I played video games on and off growing up. We had a Super Nintendo. I played Super Mario World and Mario Kart, and Mario is Missing, aka pretty much any Mario game that was on the Super Nintendo. And then I had no other consoles until I met Ben. And so when I met him and he's like, by the way, I play video games a lot. I was like, oh, he probably just like plays with his friends after he's done with his classes and stuff. But no, I didn't realize it was 5 nights a week. And so for me, what he did is he started out with just having me watch him. And he would explain things to me, and he would pay 100% focus on me. So he'd be raiding with his friends in World of Warcraft, but he wasn't talking to them really. Like he would say what he needs to, but then he was focusing on me and he was telling me background and lore and all this kind of stuff for World of Warcraft. And I would be like, oh, what's that thing that just went by? And he's like, that's what this is. And it does this. And he super just basically kid gloved me into this game. And any question I had, he was never frustrated with me. And he picked a game that he knew that I would be able to be a part of, but not be overwhelmed by. And I think that's the number one thing is a lot of people are like, hey, yo, you want to get into video games? Let's play Halo. Let's play Destiny. Let's play Call of Duty. And holy crap, that's intimidating to jump into a game like that. And so for him to basically treat World of Warcraft as the first game that he introduced me to, I was able to figure out how to even walk around and jump before I could go attack things. And then they had, in each town, they have little dummies, and you can go and you can learn how to attack things before you attack something that's going to fight back at you. And he made a character with me, and he only played that character when he played with me. And eventually I was playing by myself, and I knew that he was like super excited because he'd be like, I can't play right now. I'm like, that's fine. I'm just going to kind of go around and do my thing. But on the other side, I knew it was important to him. So I knew that if he's going to put that much effort into having me at least attempt video games, I need to meet him with the same amount of effort on the other side, to at least attempt playing it. And since he, like I said, did a game that wasn't so super overwhelming for me, I was able to pick it up, and I was able to then transfer that to Diablo. I played a lot of Diablo with him. We played a ton of World of Warcraft together. I tried Halo. I've played some Destiny. I like to try practically every game that he plays if it's a big game for him, so I can at least understand it. And then on the other side of that, he also got me games that are specifically for me. So he brought over an old Xbox to my house when we were dating, and he brought me Tetris. He knew I liked playing Tetris on my Game Boy, and so he bought me Tetris for the Xbox, and we would sit there and we'd play Tetris for hours. And he would always constantly be trying to find these games that he knew that I would like, and that was important to me. And so that's my number one advice is if you want to have your significant other enjoy something that you enjoy, not just gaming, but let's just use gaming as an example. Don't throw them into the lion's den right away. Let them learn how to walk a little bit before you up the ante a little bit. So if you're looking for a game, find a game that's really chill. Find a party game like Mario Party or Tetris or something like that. We play Peggle a lot. Peggle's a really fun game, and it gets that person introduced into that arena, I guess. So same with any kind of hobby though. So don't just like throw somebody into your hobby right away, because they're gonna probably be super freaked out if they have no interest in it. So that's my number one rule is to ease them into it, make it be about them, not about what you want. So Amy, go next.
You mean don't make a Disney sing-along playlist on the way to Disney World and then just start singing everything
right
as your hobby, and then he's just sitting there like, okay, so this is happening.
Yeah, I guess we're doing this.
We're doing this.
Amy, did I ever tell you before you started? Did I ever tell you that I used to make Corey? Oh my god! I would put on YouTube Disney karaoke. That would make him sing it with me. Oh, if I wish I had a video of that.
I was gonna
Oh
say,
my god!
I need a video of that.
Oh my gosh, that's
Okay, sorry, you just
amazing.
made me think about that. With
IRL stream right there.
Yeah. Now he
And
sings
camera.
with me.
Yay!
Awesome.
It's so funny. It's
It
like
makes
I
it
have
so
so
good.
many songs, and like even if my phone just goes like on shuffle and like a Disney song will pop up, like I'm gonna sing it. Like I'm not gonna like turn it off.
yeah.
Sing it in the car, and he'll be like do on his phone, like I'm being a boy. And then all of a sudden, like, la 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 la, like singing along and like making a character voice and like really going for it. It is
That's awesome.
Yes. I love it so much.
So great.
But that's what it reminded me of when you were talking about like ease them in, because I did not at all. Like like we were also on another road trip, and I think I just started playing a musical soundtrack, and I was like singing along, and he was like, this is not an album. Like, this is not like a radio. What is this? I don't understand what's going on. There's like a story happening. And so you definitely do need to ease your partner into whatever. So I really like that suggestion. And I think for me, the other thing is, because we always get asked the same thing too, like, oh man, how do you get your wife to like let you play video games? Like, I wish my wife was supportive. That's my loser voice.
That's a good one.
I
feel like don't be a loser and like talk to your wife, right? Like, you should be able to talk to your wife, figure it out, like, hey, you like to do this one thing, I like to do this one thing, let's do those two things separately together. You know,
Yeah.
like, plus everyone needs like alone time. Let's be honest, like, you need your own time to be your own person, or to hang out with your girlfriends while he plays video games, or he's out with his guys every Wednesday for the jam, and I do my nails and read a book and have a glass of wine at home by myself. Like, everyone needs their own time, but as long as you communicate that to each other and make that time and make those compromises and relationship goals, right? So I feel like if you talk about everything, don't just get mad at each other, then it's got to work, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and someone in chat, Molly just said, I feel like most of the women who don't like their spouses playing video games, we'll just say most of the people that don't like their significant others, because sometimes men don't like women playing too, are the ones whose spouses prioritize the games over them.
Right.
And that's just somebody just being pig-headed, I guess. Like,
that's a way bigger issue, I feel like.
Yeah, that's
than
totally a
video
bigger issue
games.
than video games.
That's a relationship issue, not a video game issue.
Exactly. But I think if those people have that kind of relationship that they can talk about it, you can be like, hey, I feel like when you come home, the first thing you want to do is play games instead of say hi to me.
Yeah.
So how about if we have 3 hours before we go to bed? How about for the first, can I just have like an hour of your time to watch a show? And then go play video games. I'll go do my thing. Or can I sit next to you and read while you play games? And in between games, you put your controller down and we'll talk for 3-4 minutes between each game. Something like that. So I think
communication. Exactly.
Yeah. You need to talk. Everyone needs to talk.
Yes.
Say how you're feeling.
Yeah. Don't be scared to like bring it up. You know, like, not everything has to be a fight if that's what you're worried about. If your feelings are being hurt, everyone's feelings are valid, and you can always come up with a solution, I feel like. Even if it takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of an adjustment. Like, I know even for just my brother and his wife, when she was pregnant and when she had a newborn, Phil would, like, my brother, would play video games sometimes, and she'd be like, there's just so many other things to do around the house. Like, I get it. Like, I understand that some priorities are bigger than others, and sometimes you need a stress reliever, right? So video games, along with all the other hobbies, are all stress relievers. Exercise, like, whatever it is that you love to do to like really de-stress, that should be important in your life and in your significant other's life. So back to communication, you know, like, but you have to compromise. You have to see where the other one is coming from and make adjustments and make it work.
Yeah.
And not everybody's system is going to work for you.
Right. Have time for you, but make sure that you make time for the important stuff.
Yeah.
For sure. Kelsey, what about you? What is your advice?
Well, kind of going off what Amy was saying, I also believe that not everything has to be shared, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, Jake's super into video games. I'm just not a gamer. I've tried, and it's just not enjoyable for me. And we've both accepted that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's his thing. I have my things. I like to do yoga. He doesn't. I think having some things in your relationship that aren't shared is actually really important. So you can be your own person. The only times I've played video games really ever have been on Jake's stream. Oh, baby. Like as a joke. People find it entertaining that I'm like so horrible. And
I liked when you were playing Fortnite. Was it yesterday that you were playing Fortnite when he was holding Ava, or was the day before?
Yeah, it was like 2 days ago, maybe. Yeah, that was the first time
hilarious.
I ever played, and I just played like 2 games, and it was fun because I was just like messing around. I was like, how do I move? I don't understand anything, and that was like enough for me for like several months.
Yeah, but the thing is that you don't completely shun it. Like you guys have agreed that it's not your thing, but it's not like you're gonna be like, I'm never gonna play a video game again. You're gonna play every once in a while because it's something that is important to him. And it makes him happy, and you do it, basically.
I mean, it's like a huge part of all of our lives, whether
you play them or not.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
it's there. Yeah.
Sam, what about you guys?
Oh, I'm see on our screen. I'm not next. So I kind of just stem off of some of what you guys touched on. Is the advice that I give is, you need to make your significant other feel like they come first and they're more important. Oh no.
Aww.
I don't know if he's gonna get it. I'm just gonna scooch this. He's so little.
I love it.
I scoochy. Okay. And then just adjust this. All right. Because and I guess I'll just put this out here. I was in a relationship with somebody who had like a full-blown addiction to video games before Corey. Like I'm talking about turn it if you asked him or made him turn it off, he would like go full Hulk and like rip his shirt off and break things and punch holes through. I'm not kidding. Like,
gosh.
So, like full. And so when Corey and I were together, and he just, he played as a hobby. Of course, at first it was really, I didn't accept it. I was totally one of those people that were like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys.
We could always come back to you too.
No, he's okay. He's wakey. So yeah, I didn't support it at first. I don't know if he's doing video stuff or not. Sometimes. Oh, and yours. Uh-oh.
Whose was that?
It's like the witching hour. I don't know.
Yeah. You hear mine? Do you hear
that? Yeah. And Charlie just woke up from his nap.
I'm not really sure what's happening. There's a lot of crying. Should set it as my ringtone at this point. So. We went to a different church today, total side note, but we went to my niece was getting baptized, so we were out of town at their church, and my daughter was getting really tired, so we put her in the nursery. She's never been to this nursery before, and it's like between a hallway and the sanctuary, and all you hear in the sanctuary is my daughter crying. We're like, whose kid is that? Like,
it's the new people.
Yes, we're never coming here again.
Hold on, Corey's put on a clean shirt, and then he's gonna get this baby. Okay, so my brain. This is why mom brain, guys.
We can always go back to you too.
It's okay. I think he does this. He just get a little bit, and then he's totally fine.
Well, and also, like, how could you not like have that reaction to video games when that was your experience?
Well, yeah. But there are some people who just see it as like a waste of time,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And
well, like in college, I was never allowed to play video games. We had to watch the guys play, but we weren't allowed because we were girls. Like that literally happened to like me and all of my friends. So like I had a really weird feeling about video games when I met Ben too.
Come get him. He needs to be walked around. He wants you to stand up and
I do feel like, I mean, I don't know how we're about Amy, I think you're like 1 or 2 years older than me. So we're about the
I'm
same.
32.
Yeah, I do feel like back then, I'm not gonna say how long ago that was,
Yeah.
but there was. I feel like
The early
past,
2000s.
yeah, the past decade, there has been a huge change in the stigma around
Completely
women
agree.
gamers, and yeah, because I still remember. I mean, there was. I'm not kidding. Like back then when I used to play. Sorry. And then we'll go back to Sam.
Oh no, it's okay.
If someone found out I was a girl, it was either like if I had voice chat on, it was either are you a boy, or if are you a girl? Show me your boobs. Like,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
what? Why is this a thing?
Extreme.
Yeah.
So I
Exactly.
hung out. So
kind of.
in college, when I hung out with gamers, they were like the slackers and the druggies. Like that's what everyone just assumed that they were. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, they just like to play video games. Like, what's the problem? But I would play Counter-Strike on my friend's account, and one time I just completely like annihilated one of his friends, and you could hear down the hallway in the dorm this guy just screaming because he's so upset that his friend killed him, and he came running down the hallway and he sees me sitting in the chair and he's like, no way, and he just slams the door and he just left, and he was pissed. He was royally pissed. And he's like, she shouldn't be playing on your account because I don't know if it's you or if it's her. And he's like, dude, she was just playing a couple times on my account. Like, calm down. A girl beat you. It does not matter.
Get over it.
Sorry about you.
Yeah. And that's like my most proud moment too. Is that guy coming in and just can be completely floored that a girl totally just hit him in the face with a bullet. And I'm like, sorry, you should probably not have been so bad.
Work the same. What? I don't understand. My poor
lady
brain. I
brain.
joke about that all the time. My poor lady brain.
Lady brain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You guys have to start using
I've
that.
never heard
You
that.
have
I
to
like
start.
that. I like
It's
that.
so good.
Yeah.
Maybe
got
that's
it.
like a t-shirt idea for our next round. Like,
Oh my god.
our poor lady brains. I
Like-
love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Little lady brain.
Sam, did you have anything else to add to?
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like I halfway got it out. But I think just making your significant other feel like they do come first. They are most important. Because with Corey, yeah, sure, he'd play a lot, honestly, and that was his thing. But there was never a time that I didn't feel like I that he would turn it off, or there was never a question of that I came first. Whereas in the past experience,
Mhm.
it was horrible. So I mean, I get how some people are, stigma wise, or how they see it, but I feel like more and more people are coming around. But that's
Well, I
just the
think-
advice.
Is
the
that
advice I
something
give.
that we take it for granted because, like, we do have partners who make us feel special and valuable? So, like, we don't see their time streaming or playing video games as like something bad because we still feel like incredibly loved by them. Like, is that something that we're just taking advantage of? Like,
Could be.
I mean,
Basically, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. But
I think-
I know.
Well,
I mean-
that and it's their way of making money. So for people who
True.
don't have a streamer spouse,
Yeah.
and it's just playing video games, and they're
Right.
they might not see what the point is.
yeah. See, and I was totally, I mean, I was one of those people.
I think
And
that's
I
how I
have those
was
same-
before.
And sharing that with people, because it gives some people a little hope. And I do see that it is just like another hobby, stress relief. It's like, guys that watch the game or go
Yeah.
golfing, and like I don't like golf, like but there are a lot of people that do it. And so it is just like all of those other things. And I think maybe opening people's eyes to that would kind of help. But yeah, it all stems back to talking.
Yeah, right.
Talk.
Yep. I think that's like the
Number
theme.
one.
We should rename the
episode.
the title of the episode to be Just Talk.
I will say it's not as easy as just having a conversation. I know it turns into a touchy subject for a lot of people, especially
Yes.
say someone is, playing video games a lot. Like a lot of these games, you have to put a lot of time into to progress. And I think that's where some people might get hung up.
Into tunnel vision.
between game and real life relationship, things that have to get done, so on and so forth. So it's all about balance and talking.
Yeah,
I agree.
Feel like
Very,
my
very
thoughts came
cool.
out to words. I hope so.
Okay, we gotcha.
Yeah, it all comes together. So we have a little bit of time, and because Valentine's Day is coming up this week on Wednesday, right? Wednesday?
yeah.
We are going to talk about our either worst or funniest Valentine's Day.
Before we do that, can I add something to the last
Yes.
thing? Because I totally agree with everything you guys say. One thing I will say, because I know part of that question was, how do I get my spouse to get into video games? And like, if it's an important hobby for you, you also need to invest in their hobbies and what they like. Even if you don't like it, feign some interest, because there's nothing more important to anyone, I think, than someone taking actual interest in what you're doing. You know, like, I mean, I know that for me, calligraphy is my big thing, and TV does not understand that, but he'll sit down and he'll be like, okay, what are you doing? And right now I'm going through a class. So he'll be like, what are you learning? And, you know, talk to me about that. And that makes a huge difference, because then I feel like for me, you guys know, I mean, I've played video games all my life. So for me, that's not a big deal. But for me, that opens my heart to be like more interested in what he wants to do. It's just kind of that reciprocal, kind of like we talked about with love languages, but kind of, you know, if you want someone to be interested in your interests, you need to be interested in theirs.
And
And
even
also,
like, go ahead.
We all started talking. So it's good. That's a good thing. That reminded me, like, I kind of faked it until it was genuine. Like when we were dating, like, I liked him as a person. I liked all these things, and I liked our time together, but I didn't understand video games because I had a completely different childhood lifestyle and experience as an adult with video games. And so just like genuinely being nice and not really caring about what the answers were, I would be interested. Like, oh, what does that mean? Or like blah, blah, blah. And then as I was faking it, I actually did get interested. You know, so like I've been on stream with Ben before, and I don't play video games. Nobody even really expects me to. They always tell me to. They're like, it'll be funny. And I'm like, it'll be funny for you, but I will be humiliated. Who cares about my feelings?
Anything above Mario for me is just not.
Yeah. But if you love somebody and you fake it till you make it, like you genuinely have to put in effort. Like not everything's going to be easy ever, by the way.
We kind of had this conversation. I mean, this is similar to for those of us who are parents. Like my son is obsessed with trains, and I don't get it. I do not get it. I get to the point where they bore me to tears. But when he gets super hyped about something, I'm super hyped because I love him. And it's something that he loves. And it's the same thing with your significant other. Like you may not understand it, but if you really truly love someone, you love it because it makes them happy. You know what I mean? Like, and again, prioritize, but
you're better for each other. Like you do more nice things for each other out of nowhere. And like, because you're happy, because you put in the effort.
You can totally get in this round and round. We're like, oh my gosh, you play so many hours on video games, and you do this and you do that, and you can point the finger. But I think that's a good solution. And on that note, I think Corey should come to one of my classes and tape it.
I like it.
Please.
He needs to be able to know what you can do. But I mean, and it doesn't even need to be actually like physically doing the hobby. As long as you understand the basics. So if your significant other is not into video games, or if your significant other plays video games and you want to figure out what's going on, just ask them. You want to know how happy and overflowing their heart's going to be. Sorry, I have a little plastic dinosaur from Charlie's Valentine's Day presents. You know how overflowing and happy they're going to be for you just to be like, tell me about this game that you're playing. Why do you have that gun? Why are you running around looking like a pink teddy bear right now? Because that's like the current new skin on Fortnite. And they're going to totally like explode being able to just talk to you. And all you need to do is just listen to them. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're excited about something, you just want somebody to listen to you about it. And I mean, that's kind of like why we're doing this show, is we're excited about helping people figure out this whole streaming relationship business kind of thing. And we just want someone to hear us and to help it out. So yeah, you don't have to go all the way and actually do the hobby. You just need to understand what the heck that they're doing.
And see why they're so passionate about it, and see what it
Mhm.
makes them excited.
Yeah. I mean, are they excited because of how good they are, or if they're excited because of like the style of game?
What?
Oh,
A wild Ben.
apparently
appears.
husband needs me. So
Uh-oh.
you guys start talking about your favorite
Memorable
or
dates?
least favorite, or that thing.
Memorable dates. Who's first?
Well,
Oh gosh.
I was trying to think about like all the Valentine's Day, because
So,
originally
I
it was
think-
like Valentine's Day fails.
Yeah, I think we could just do like some dates too, because I can't
whatever.
remember
Yeah.
when was when. But so speaking of movies and like sneaking food into movies, Corey used to make these like primo roast beef sandwiches. I'm talking about like full on roast beef,
Ooh.
huge, like have to open your mouth so wide to eat them sandwiches, and we would bring them into the movie theater. I don't even
That's
know.
awesome.
You bring them into the
Yeah.
movie theater?
That's so
That's
random.
amazing. They let you do that, or did you hide it?
No, we hit it. I
Oh,
don't even
that's
know.
awesome.
how.
That's
Got a
awesome.
little bigger.
Did you have to wait till like the movie started and like it was dark in the theater for you to start eating?
People are like sitting there like, what is that smell?
And then because they had like mustard, everything.
Oh my
on it.
gosh.
That's so funny.
Awesome. I love it.
So romantic. So
God.
dinner and a movie.
Yeah. Oh, I
Love
love
it.
that. That's so funny.
It sounds like a very Corey thing too.
Oh yeah, he's always
Yeah.
been. I like long before he started streaming. He has always been very much the same.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to think. Like
So
super
before
funny.
before I met Ben, I had never been on a proper date ever. I'd never been taken out on a like real anything besides, hey, let's meet at this bar and like get to know ya situations, or like, here, let's go to this really cheesy dinner, you know what I mean, and then being super super awkward.
For those of you young ones in the stream, this pre-Tinder age.
Yeah, pre-Tinder.
Tinder was not a thing back then. We
Definitely
sound so old when I say
pre-Tinder.
that.
Way back in the day.
We're little whippersnappers.
So like I was like completely amazed when like he took me to a movie and dinner, or we went to lunch and then went to a museum. I was like, what is this guy? Like, he's super fancy and like old school. And I kept being like the dum dum that was like, I don't know, you want to go to a bar? Like, I felt so dumb, because that's all I had ever like experienced was all this like, man, how many losers did I have to go through to meet Ben?
Aw. But then you wouldn't have appreciated it the same. And that's just how
That's
it is.
true. That's true. But like, I don't even have like a good like failed Valentine's Day, because
don't-
I
well, we
didn't
don't
even
really do-
expect anything because of all the bums.
We don't really do Valentine's, and
Yeah.
I mean, even down to like doing like big like gifts or whatever, like Valentine's anniversary,
Yeah.
all that. We're pretty chill about all that, so it's kind of hard to think of anything.
Yeah. I don't
specific.
even know what like doing Valentine's Day like means.
Okay, so
I
well,
know.
okay. What about like even in the past? So my maybe not worst Valentine's, but I remember buying a Sean John shirt for my whatever you want to call him boyfriend in middle school.
Oh
And
my
being so
gosh.
nervous to give it to him.
Oh my gosh. Or like making scrapbooks for your boyfriends in like high school. Be like,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
you love this? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, make
Same guy I married.
yeah. Oh man.
Still have all that shit.
Here's this cheap gold chain that you're gonna love because it's
That I
just
bought
like
at Claire's or the icing.
Yes.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Or no, or did you guys wear those what are those silver ones that they're like links, different size links?
Oh my god, I thought you were gonna say puka
Oh.
shell necklace, but
That was big.
no,
They
that was
clipped
not big.
together.
2004, like
No,
the,
like
the puka shells. Yeah,
Is that what it is?
yeah. Well, those
I
are the
don't
good shell ones, right?
yeah, the shell ones with like,
Called. It's
Tiny
a-
little
string.
shells.
and they
Yes,
have
yeah.
like the highlighted spiky hair, like everything was like so hard and gelled.
Oh,
Frosted
Charlie.
tips.
Yes, the frosted tips. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yes.
But what are you talking about, Sam? With like, it's like a silver necklace.
Like no, like the chain. Like I'm in a rap video, and sometimes you can have like
Like,
you know,
Oh my
those-
god!
I remember getting one of those for Valentine's Day. and I wore it
Wow.
all the time in middle
Hi,
school.
Charlie.
Anyway, I still hear my.
oh, Charlie.
Hi, buddy.
I really love you guys, but I hear my baby.
Crying.
Yeah,
Aw.
I don't think he's having a good time.
Oh no.
Boy just got sick.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's time for Tylenol for mine.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to
Can you hear 'em?
go.
that's okay.
That's
Babies
okay.
come first.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Baby.
I think we had a good, solid
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love
Chat
all you.
together.
Everyone's got to listen, okay?
I know it was really fun.
Sam like can't hear us.
Oh, yeah.
Ben's
Okay,
currently cleaning up
Kylie.
all the Yuki stuff. So
All right. Well, I think on that note,
Yeah.
here.
I think all the babies need.
So talk to your significant other.
Communication's good.
Communication.
Guys.
And have a wonderful Valentine's Day from all of us to you. Please check out our 3-minute break shirt. All 100% of proceeds go to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, which would be great. And then you can wear them to Guardian Con.
And we'll sign them, right? We'll sign them.
And-
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
agreed. I just made you all agree to that. So
Absolutely.
That's
Of
fine.
course we will.
they're navy, like some of them are navy and black. So I guess we need like metallic
Yeah.
Sharpies, but
Yeah.
The silver ones work.
yeah,
And-
that hurts, so
Thank you everyone who came out to like watch us and like spend time with us on your Sunday. We love it doing them.
uh-oh.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, we're going to go hang out with somebody here in
Yeah,
just
who are
a
we gonna
second.
say hello to?
So I'm going to surprise you guys because one of them, or they belong to one of us. So
it's not mine,
we'll see you
then.
guys.
I'm
we'll see you
using
guys
his
next month
computer.
then. Right?
Yes.
Next month?
Right?
Yes,
Come on.
next month.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.